You got it, brother.
If he is through the Spirit, he played that seed.
This is Matthew 24, verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahawashi answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you.
Right.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ,
right,
and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Yeah, so all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, man. You gotta know.
I can't remember.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
And that hate is starting to be shown right now, man. Right. It's starting with people just trying to come up against us. It's starting with people trying to disrupt the message when it come out. But then eventually it's gonna get physical, man. But the Lord said that in these times, when you see wars, rumors of wars, when you see earthquakes in diverse places, when you see famine, like the one that's going on in Venezuela, you will go know that this was the beginning of sorrows. We haven't even gotten to the meat of the judgment yet, man. And that says a lot, because a lot of people is catching hell right now, man. You had a wildfire in Greece. A woman said that her infant son, her child, her infant grandson, all of them died, and she lost everything. That's just one case, man. The Lord said this is the beginning of sorrows.
In Greece, he chased them into the ocean, man. They were jumping into the ocean.
Exactly. And the Lord is starting to bring that judgment out, man. People are gonna find out that the rose petal God that the Christians preach, that's not the Lord of the Bible, man. You got it?
Yeah. It's Jeremiah chapter 30, starting at verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Yashar'Allah, concerning Yahawah. But thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail.
Right.
And all faces are turned into paleness.
Right.
Now that's the question, Salakia. Alas, for the day is great, so none is like it. Even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in the day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
All right, and that's telling you that in Jacob's trouble, when Jacob's trouble comes to pass, that the Lord's gonna break our yoke, man. We're gonna be delivered. If you watch the first purge, man, you'll see that it's got Jacob's trouble all over it, man. You got it, right?
Verse 9, but they shall serve the Lord their God, and David their king, whom I will rise up unto them. That's beautiful that scripture came out, because it goes into everything the topic you were just talking about, but also that Jewish man that just came up here. Because it tells you right here, it says, but they shall serve the Lord their God, and David their king, whom I will rise up unto them. If y'all are the real Jews in Israel right now, where's King David? Where's he at?
The Lord said that he was going to raise up the tabernacles of David as in the days of old.
Right. How you going to raise the tabernacles of David but not have David there?
Right.
You know, where's King David? Come on, man.
But that shows you that these people are unlearned, man. When it comes to the scriptures, they're unlearned. And really they have need to be taught again, man. Where?
Oh, I had a he rides around on the bike every day. He got his fringes on. I looked at his shirt one time. He had a purple shirt with the fringes on it. I think he, you know. What you got? Hey, hold on. Oh, you got something?
You got more on yours out?
I got more, but it's going into Jacob being at rest. I don't know if you want to go into that.
All right, yeah, but I want to just make a point. The first purge show you that there's going to be a time where martial law is going to happen, where the UN troops is going to come out here. And if you go, there's a documentary on Vice.com that shows you what happens when a UN troop or regime come into a city. When they came into Haiti, all you have is sexual assault reports, man. Because all the UN troops are doing is exploiting the women for food, man. And that's going to come over here, man. It's going to be a purge out here, man.
Hey, look what the Marines did in Fallujah.
Yep.
In Iraq.
Yep.
Look what they did. They were going around just blowing motherfuckers' heads off, man. Raping women.
Assaults, yeah.
You know, the shit, you know, Esau wants to cover his shit up, you know. But these motherfuckers went in so bad that they had to throw them to the fire, man. Yeah. They had to give them up.
Some of them boys did time, right?
And they're still in Leavenworth. Some of them are still in Leavenworth, man. They got life. Some of them got life.
Documentary on that.
You know, them dudes finished, man.
But that show you, man, when the lights go out, man, the devil gonna show his horns, man. The devil being the so-called white man, Esau, man. He gonna show his horns. Because look at what his legacy is, man. Look at what his legacy represents. Nothing but death, man. The only thing he's really good at is making guns and butter, man.
That was his blessing.
Making weapons, man. That's all he's really good at, is making weapons and destroying shit, man. The Lord said, I've created the waster to destroy, man.
I got one for you. You got one?
Not good.
Okay. This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings.
Right.
The beginning of famine and great death.
Right.
The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine, a plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
That show you, man, that even with all these judgments going out, these people aren't mindful that the Lord is involved, man. In Zechariah, I believe it's 3 and 5, it tells you that every day the Lord brings judgment to light, man, but the wicked know no shame, man.
Verse 21, behold, victual shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down.
So the Lord's saying that many people gonna die of famine amongst many other plagues, man. Many people gonna die of famine, and it's gonna get to a point where the fat people are gonna be a commodity in that day, man. That's gonna be a nice cook, a well-cooked meal in that day, man. All these fat people that done got fat in America, in that day, when they can't go to the neighborhood Walmarts and get them some frozen shrimp and throw it in the pot, they're gonna go after these big people out here, man. These overweight people, man. They're gonna be so hungry, they're gonna start eating each other, man. You got it.
Verse 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grit.
You know what movie shows you that? What you just that verse? I Am Legend, man. Because
everything grew over.
Because what's gonna happen is that you gotta remember the Most High is gathering all nations into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. So they gonna have that draft, man. All the men are gonna be out there in the Middle East fighting, man. You know? The scriptures, read that's a powerful scripture, man. And they show you that in I Am Legend, man. In the middle of New York City, he went to go kill a deer, and a lion came out of nowhere and ate the deer in New York City. But the scriptures told you that's how it's gonna be in those days, man. That's crazy.
It's in 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 24. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them?
Right, and in this instance, that's talking about the maintenance men that come around, the people that pour the concrete, you know, the people that come around with the herb, the weed killers and stuff like that. That what they do, they stop all of that from happening. But when everybody's over there in the Middle East dying off, hey, listen, the Most High set it up where them plants are still gonna crack through that concrete, man. And nature's still gonna reveal itself, man.
16.
You can't stop nature, man. can't stop it. Go ahead, my bad.
It's not good. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks.
I got a precept to what the brother was saying. 2nd Esdras chapter 5 verse 8, there shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and mistress women shall bring forth monsters.
Right, and look what's going on right now. Esau is constantly what? Deforestation. Right. Deforestation. The animals are losing their natural habitat, man. And you go in certain places in like Pennsylvania and the Poconos, you gotta look both ways before you even take out your trash. There might be a bear in your backyard, you know? But that's because of all the deforestation. The animals have no choice but to come into areas and start attacking people, man. You know, so it's not really that they're changing their locations. Esau is invading what they already had, man.
Hey, look,
you know?
I can say this. That goes monster right there.
Revelations chapter 11 verse 18, to go to the brother point. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Right, yeah.
I hear there's a really good place in winter.
And you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, you know, to see who's destroying the earth. It's not the Chinese, it's not the Hamite, the African, so-called. It damn sure ain't the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Who's really who? Which scientists are in these labs literally creating the food that our people are eating in these fast food restaurants? They literally engineer these foods to make them more addicting and less filling. Right. Who's doing that? Who's spraying barium oxide out of the Boeing 747s, the Airbus A321s? Who's spreading the chemtrails? Whose idea was that? You know, they actually were sending nukes into space, and they detonating nukes underground, they're detonating nukes underwater. The sonar from the ships is completely destroying what's going on. Hey, if you ever see a video on what the sound that sonar makes when it bounces from the ship, because how sonar works is what they do is they bounce a sound off the ground, right? How that sound comes back maps out the layer of the Earth's floor. I mean the floor of the ocean. You see what I'm saying? That's the same technique that the dolphins have. It's sonar, you know? But the sound that it emits actually is deafening to these animals that live under there, man. And, you know, and these animals been living under their harmony and peace since the Most High created the oceans, man. But you know, it's Esau, man. And who is Esau? Esau is the so-called white man. That same white man with the suit and tie that you got to go get your business loan from, your mortgage from, your car loan from. You know? Common sense, man.
This is Isaiah chapter 24 verse 5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
Hey, and what's one of the laws? Observing the land Sabbath. You get a piece of land, and you work that land for 6 years, and on the 7th year, you let that land rest. We're living in a kingdom where they're constantly pillaging the land. Now what's that cause? That causes the earth to not bear fruit like it used to. Right. So what happens to the fruit? They start to shrink. But what Esau said, let me get a quick fix. Let's invent, what's that shit called? Not fertilizer, right? Yeah. The fertilizer, and they spray the fertilizer on the fruit and they grow big again. But at that point, what? Our daughters are eating it. They have breasts at 8 years old, looking like grown-ass women. Men are lactating. That's all kind. Yo, the earth is defiled, man. And because we eat from the earth, our bodies are defiled, man. You know?
Because by the earth not being able to have rest, the food loses nutritional value, man. Which is why they have to sell you trace minerals that should already be in your damn food anyway, man. You gotta go buy water that's real, man. Because they done contaminated the water so bad that the water they give you for free actually destroys you.
I just had to get some more trace milk the other day. It's $30 a bottle now, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start kicking the price up because now people are being conscious to how they
First
water.
started buying trace milk. When Timber Rock first put me up on there, it was $17 a bottle.
I got what?
Now it's $30 a bottle. I just bought one the other day.
And then the thing with even taking the vitamins, you can't even trust in the vitamins because where they getting the source to get those vitamins? Even the vitamins is synthetic.
Hey, you think that you said that too? A lot of them vitamins that come in that capsule clip, that capsule is pork, man.
Right.
That capsule, that's pork.
That's gelatin cap.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
Vegetarian.
Yeah, but Esau's so crazy with it though. They sell the distilled water for 88 cents a gallon. Even though that's the healthiest water you can drink right now, is the distilled water. And how they play the semantics is you'll get a bottle of Dasani this size and that shit costs $1 what? And change. That's how they play with you because they make you think 88 cents, and they make you think that this water is better, that's why it costs more.
Right.
You're killing yourself, man.
Right.
That's why they say, you know when you accidentally leave water in a car and it gets hot, they say don't drink that no more?
Yeah.
Because all the chemicals from the plastic is already in that water.
Right.
You know? So we living in a society where everything is literally out here to get you, man. But the Most High said we shall eat our bread defiled amongst the heathens, man.
Gentile,
you know? That's also a part of the curses, but we gonna get out of here soon, man. And it's evident, man. Because what the brother was reading in Matthew 24 is happening as we speak, man. Joel 3 is here, Habakkuk 2 is here, Matthew 24 is here. Man, it's a year of prophecy, man. You know, call Lord YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI.
But let me say this though. The reason why we're still living, man, is through the grace of the Most High. Because this place is so defiled, man. You know, but I'm gonna bring out a scripture real quick. This is Mark chapter 16, verse 18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and shall they shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover.
So we coming into that time where the Lord is about to render a recompense for the defiled planet, and He's about to give power to His men. His men are going to be given power to heal, man. And it's starting now. Really, spiritually, we have the power to heal. If the Lord opens up a man's understanding and he can receive the words we're saying, he's being healed. Even with the knowledge that the brother know of food, that could heal a man to a certain extent. But ultimately, it's the words of YAHAWASHI that's going to heal a man.
Hey, they showed you that with Gad, man, because they would pray over the medicine, man. So really, it's the Most High really healing you through the herbs. That's why Gad used to say prayers and stuff over the medicine, man, and over the herbs and stuff that they would mix together.
Hey, and the white man is such a damn devil when he came over here. He outlawed half the shit that they use to make these medicines, man. You know, when CHAARAWTAZA did that beautiful video going into the history of the quinoa seed, man. You know?
Yeah, man.
And Slack, that's why that brother, I don't know, I posted it in the chat, I don't know if you watched it, but our brother in GMS, I don't know if he was in Washington, you know, he broke down this dream that he had, man, going into how he was chilling in a park, and he said, you know, these foreign troops, man, just started laying bodies waste, man, you know, and he said he started running, man, and as he's running, he noticed that the bullets weren't hitting him. And then at the same time, he seen the apostles and some of the brothers sitting at if I'm not mistaken, a table or something. And he said that when they were calm. Man, that dream is heavy, man.
It's real.
Yeah. Come on. You know, how you doing? You know, so, you know, that dream is a powerful dream. And he said he ran back to the table and sat down at that table, man. You know, through the spirit, I prayed on it. Hey, that dream is powerful because, hey, when the shit really starts hitting the fan here in America, which is Babylon, man, wisdom and knowledge is gonna be what's the stability of your time in those times, man. And that's what that picnic table with the apostles and the brothers represented the word, man.
Right.
And he said at first that he was scared, man. That's when he was in that Gentile state of mind. You know, the Most High gave him eyes to see. He ran past the word and looked back, and it woke him up. And he sat down in the word, man, in the bosom of YAHAWASHI, man. Hey, the scriptures tell you that the name of the Lord is a righteous tower, man. I mean, it's a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, and they are safe, man. That's what that dream was about, man. You know? What's that about? Well, Kyle, you got a question, you got to speak in here.
You know what I'm saying? No respect. Sometimes I be fucked up in the head, sometimes I try to get into it, sometimes it don't help. But how do y'all cope with it?
What, you're talking about the society?
What society? Because you know, you look on Instagram, it's a lot of like clone shit. It's a lot of clone shit.
John 12.
I'm in the curse.
No, you good, bro. All right, you speak to it. You talk like a man, man. We don't do that. This ain't that Christian church. Hey, because you know the Lord spoke rough, man. He called people vipers and dogs, man. You know? So just because you use profanity or what society perceives as profane doesn't mean it's a curse. A curse is the opposite of a blessing. You know? Go ahead.
You want 12 and 25?
Yeah.
John chapter 12, verse 25. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
Khan, you heard that? So, in this society, we're supposed to hit Micah 2:10.
I'm listening.
So like a whole Micah 2:10
My pop do this shit.
Right, yeah, so really this is our captivity, man. According to the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, we was gonna go into slavery again on cargo slave ships. You know? So this is our captivity. We ain't supposed to enjoy this society. We're supposed to hate this society. Somebody hold me Ecclesiastes 7:7. You know? So how we cope with this is this word and this understanding is the comforter, man. It's what gives us comfort in these times.
What's your church name?
You can find us on YouTube at GREATMILLSTONE, GMS Orlando Camp 2. Yeah, GMS Orlando Camp 2, one word, you'll find us, you know? But that's how we do this word. That's what comforts us, man. Go ahead.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sword destruction.
Right, so right here in this society, it's not our rest. And how is it destroying us? We were just going into that, you know, Lord willing. But the food we eat, the philosophies that are running rampant out here, you know, our oppressors.
I got a
Because a lot of us, we think just the white man is our oppressor. Yeah, he's our head oppressor, but he has a little, the Chinese man, the Japanese man, the Muslims, they all in our neighborhoods exploiting us, taking our money and bringing that money home. You know? Go ahead, Archie. The philosophies.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Hey, envy not the oppressor, choose none of his ways. Because how they make us envy them is that they give a couple of our people a couple $1 million and they flaunt that shit on TV. Yeah, they flaunt that shit on TV. And all they talk about is guns, money, and drugs.
Sleeping with another
man's woman. You know, because what is that doing? That's promoting those are promoting the criminal activity.
All the social media shit. They trying to get us to follow that shit.
And then what happens when we follow it? We get put in jail. And that's free labor.
And our heads get fucked up. We be like, damn, what happened?
Well, there's if I could say this, there was a executive of music industry came out and said that in the 80s or the 90s, they had a meeting where the companies that, the parent companies of the record labels said that they invested in private prisons. So because they invested in private prisons, you know, they had to push out gangster music to have more.
Just to get it to be.
They have to
because when you in a private prison, you actually a customer.
You working for the top companies,
you actually
making like 12 cents an hour.
Right.
And not only that, in the music industry, what they do is when they cut an album, they take the master copy of the album and they bring it into a chamber and they get witches and warlocks.
Prayer shit.
Right, and put demons on. Right, they put demons on the damn CDs and shit like that. So when you purchase that CD and you bring it into your home, then you bring the demons into your home.
Hey, you on this sign, man. You should be listening too, man.
That's cool. I just want to leave it behind.
I know. I be looking at all this shit.
We know, brother. We know.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you one more thing too. I'm gonna just warn you with something. Hey, when you come into this truth, you also gonna hate your friends as well. Because some of your friends, when you really get serious,
They try to bring you down.
They try to bring you down. They try to rip you out. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's happening right now.
Hey, because the Most High, He came, right? Hey, that's happening right now. But when the Most High said, I come to bring division, not unity. Yeah, not unity. He's gonna separate the sheep from the goat. You know what I'm saying? So, I'll just let that seed, man. Understand that. You know?
He actually would understand it, but you had his friends gonna die, man.
And they Jake too.
His friends gonna die, man. But they more concerned with some bucks.
And one of them just said that's not what we came here for.
Exactly.
You know? But you know, through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, that seed that He allowed us to put in that brother, hopefully it'll blossom into something fruitful, man.
Exactly.
You know that, and that's what we hope for out here, man. That's it.
Because Jonah was stubborn. Jonah had a mission that he was supposed to accomplish, and he was stubborn. But the Lord had mercy on him. He put him through something, but He had mercy.
If y'all have questions, don't be afraid to ask. We'll let you know your judgment, man. I have questions.
You know, the Spirit of the Lord.
They don't want their night ruined tonight.
The Spirit of the Lord is willing to deal it, man. They said that's outside the temple, leave without, man. They was over there standing outside the temple, you know?
Right, hey, and what Yahawah said, he said, hey, that's in Mark, right? Yeah, that's in Mark. He said, who is my brother, man? Who is my mother? My brother and my mothers are the ones that do the will of the Heavenly Father, man.
Right.
Hey, that's when you come, yo, this is business, man. Hey, the pleasure's coming later, man. And I know everybody heard that. Keep business, and keep fun, man.
YAHAWASHI said,
What's your boy say, New Jack City?
huh?
This is big business.
Yeah, man.
YAHAWASHI said, I'm about my father's business.
Hey, come on. Hey.
This is big business.
This business, man. This is business. You know, the hour cometh where the Most High, Yahawah said He's going to show us plainly of the Father, man. But right now, you know, we're starting to see plainly of the Father, man. You know?
But you know, we coming into that time we coming into the time of war, man.
Yeah, I'll get that.
Like, we coming into the time where women ain't gonna be able to walk around freely, man. They enjoying themselves now, but it's gonna come a time where they're not gonna be able to do that. Because you can't do that shit in the third world country. Do that shit right there in Haiti. See what happened to you. Go to Venezuela wearing all that shit they got on right now. See what happens. See how it go down.
Hey, look what happened in Houston. The brothers out there said that, Slacky, not the brothers, but I watched the video. No, it was the brothers. He said, hey, that's a spirit. She bust her ass. They said you couldn't even see a woman walking up and down the streets out there at that time, man. Because Jake was out there going crazy. Motherfuckers was getting held up at gunpoint everywhere out there, man. Looting was going on. You ain't see no woman walking up and down the street, man. They knew what time it was, man. But that kind of situation is gonna be magnified times 10, man, times 7, man. This is Joel chapter 3, starting at verse 1. Behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right.
Now I'm reading out of the Old Testament. Am I not reading out of the Old Testament? But what I'm reading is happening right now. So to hell with that fucking false doctrine about the Old Testament is done away with, man. I'm reading something in the Old Testament that's happening right now as we speak. Future prophecy. I will gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Where is that? That's modern day Iran. What's happening? You got Russia down there. You got the Syrians down there. You got America down there. China, North. They all getting ready to go down there, man. But yet I'm reading it out of the Old Testament, right? And like the word Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahawah Shaphat, man. Meaning Yahweh judges, man. What does it mean to judge? You're going to take life in that place, man. And I will plead with them there for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Verse 3.
So little do they know that the Lord is preparing World War III for little old us, man. Why they all getting ready and they like, Putin got this plan, we got this plan, Moab, the Chinese got this plan. The Lord preparing all of that for little old us, man. You gotta know.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh.
And we're coming into the time of weeping, man. We're coming into the time of killing, man. You got it up. Smell that?
A time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
And we're in the time of refraining from embracing. That even goes into your family, man. Because it's a cold world. The Lord said, endure hardness as a soldier, man. Soldier going back into solitaire, which means alone, man. You got it, huh?
A time to get and a time to loose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. A time to keep silence and a time to speak.
And this is, Salakia, this is the time where the Lord is speaking through his men. But it's going to come a time where we're not going to be on these corners, and everything we're saying is going to play out on the planet Earth, man. Hey, you're not going to find us, man.
Those people holding the cardboard signs were right. Remember?
Hey, that's a fact.
Verse 8, a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace.
And we're coming into a time of war, man. The Lord said the virgin daughter of Babylon, the reason America is likened to a virgin is because ever since its inception as America, it has not been invaded, man. But that's all about to change, man.
Oh,
you got it?
That's a beautiful point, because America has never been invaded, right? But then what do these motherfuckers in the military love to say? They're defending the country. How the hell are you defending a country that's never been invaded? America's always been on an offense. Right. You know, you can't be, the only way you could defend this country is if troops came to our shores. That's defense. But you got bases in Okinawa, in the Philippines, which I think they just got that shit the fuck up out of here. Okinawa, in Hawaii. Right now, the Hawaiians are trying to kick the white man out of there, man. Japanese. They want them the fuck out of there. Japanese. They don't even have a culture anymore. The Hawaiians are through.
Because you know what? The so-called white man is like the Monsanto seed, man. Everywhere you plant that nigga, he gonna destroy some shit. He is the living, breathing Monsanto seed, man. Everywhere you throw him at in any field on the earth, he gonna destroy some shit. And his legacy is proof of that, man. Like the military put on this facade, and the American government put on this facade, like they actually defending righteousness, like they actually judging in moral integrity. And what they're really doing is stealing. They stealing with guns in their hands, man. If they were over there to actually build up Afghanistan, why are they guarding poppy fields, man?
Why they ghosted Pat Tillman, man? You know, Pat Tillman was an Edomite, but you know, Pat Tillman, he was going, if I'm not mistaken, he was on his way to the NFL, or he was in the,
I believe he was in it.
And he said, you know what, I'm gonna be an Army Ranger with my brother, man. Pat Tillman was in something called the Buddy Program, where him and his brother, they didn't get separated. I think they went to boot camp together, unit, the same job, everything, man. And guess what? Pat Tillman found out that the U.S. was taking the opium out of Afghanistan and smuggling it back to the U.S., man. He was in the NFL. He made it, right? Khan, starter, he made it. He wanted to go fight with his brother. And then he realized how corrupt the U.S. military really is, man. You know? They separated him from his brother and got two bullet holes in the back of his head. Come on, man. That's how they do, man. You find out the truth, man, and he was an Army Ranger, man. That's Special Forces. So they sent that word down and they ghosted him off, man. But that's the legacy of America, man.
Well, you know what? That's the legacy of Esau, man. That's the legacy of the so-called white man. Because before the so-called white man was an American, he was a goddamn Roman. before he was a Roman, he was a Macedonian Greek.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So the so-called white man's legacy of murder goes all the way back to the Greeks. That's why they hold that heritage up, or it goes back farther than that.
I'm just saying this too. That shows you that he don't have no morals for his own self, man.
Right.
He'll kill his own people to push his agenda.
Right.
You've seen that during 9/11.
Well, you can see how the economic system is set up right now.
Right.
They don't care about the poor of they people. All the people are suffering now to the point where they saying it's all about money, brothers. It's class war, not racism anymore. No, it's class war now because your brothers are not sharing the wealth. We have laws in our scriptures where even if you're a third brother, you don't get a double portion, but you get some portion of the inheritance. Esau doesn't abide. That's why the Lord said that in about the beast, about Cain, that his face would be hid from him. The understanding of the scriptures is hid from him, even in natural doing, man. He naturally takes from his own people, even of other people outside of his nation, man.
Hey man, in some alternate reality, man, or some. Hey, let's say the Most High did decide, hey, let me send a savior for Esau, man. You think that motherfucker gonna die on the cross? He gonna be like, hell, nah, I'm good. He gonna be like, I ain't dying on the cross for these motherfuckers.
You know he gonna try to find a loophole.
He gonna try to find a loophole.
That's what Lazarus,
white collar crime.
So Lucky, that's what Lazarus wanted to, that's what that parable was
He gonna
about.
hire a Jewish lawyer, try to get out of it.
Try to plead his case to the Most
Try to
High.
have a Levite read through the law to see if it's a way for him to wiggle out.
That's what the
like,
rich man
And
said.
there's movies like that all over the place where, like, I can't remember what I was just recently watching, but the motherfucking the Edomite made a deal with, I think it was like some fucking androids or whatever, man. And he was like, yo, just join them, man. And sold everybody out, man. Ain't no
That's a lot of movies where you have the so-called white man make a deal and at the end you turn around and he got the gun on you.
Yeah.
You know the movies where everybody think they friends and they cool, and then you go to pick something up and you turn around and he got the strap on you. Like, I had to do it.
Esau's nothing. Hey, Esau's nothing but a stick-up, man.
Yeah.
That's what he is, a stick-up.
He's the original gangster.
He ain't Frank, hey.
It's in John chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not, but to steal and to kill and to destroy.
And the so-called white man does not come to do anything but steal, kill, and destroy, man. That's why they're able to walk out here, have Starbucks with dirty-ass loafers and all of that shit and just enjoy themselves because they had to destroy this place. They had to destroy this place to do that, man. Me and the brother was going into it earlier. How many Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans had to die for them to have a Starbucks, man? For them to have a government, for them to have a constitution. How many Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans had to lose their life? For them to build up skyscrapers and commit usury on the people.
If I can say this, how many Native Americans had to die for them to set up the Constitution?
Right.
And the Declaration of Independence.
And then now that they got the society on and popping, they got fucking beauty pageants with 6-year-old girls wearing 2 pieces in makeup.
But we the problem.
But we the problem, right? I can go to a beauty pageant right now and go look at a little 6-year-old white girl with blush on in a 2-piece.
They legal bestiality.
That's straight up fucking pedophilia.
Well, we in a nation now where you have NMBLA, NAMBLA, where they trying to normalize pedophilia, man. So where they done got to a point where the LGBTQ, they trying to add a P on that mug.
Come on, man.
For the pedophiles.
Question mark?
But we the problem.
They want stars. They want
But we the problem. They'll come and debate us about these so-called Christians will come debate us about the scriptures, but they won't go to the Catholic Church and talk to them priests about all of that pedophilia they committing. That's what show you they hypocrites, man. Because they don't desire to see the judgment of the Lord play out on the planet Earth. And really that's what it's all about. As in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven, man. They'll say that prayer, but they don't really mean it. That's why the Lord said with their lips, they do honor the Lord, but in their heart, they don't honor him. Because their works are everything but the will of YAHAWASHI, man.
the opposite.
Completely adversarial, man. Because they don't speak against this system, even though it's obviously completely against the Lord's will, man. Even if you take the nation of Israel out of it, this place is completely outside of the will of YAHAWASHI, man. And Esau did all this murdering, looting, polluting, genocide, just to start a place where he could walk around with a fake crown, be a woman, have a sex change, be a transsexual. This is what he died for. This is all the murder and shit he committed was so he could have this folly, man. This destroyed kingdom, man. If you're gonna kill for something that's worth it, man.
This is Job chapter 13, verse 3. Surely I would speak to the Almighty, and I desire to reason with the Most High.